Yo, myself. I'm here with another video of consistency. Let's revise how we were able to exercise our day, what we were able to achieve, and what were the things that we were able to do. So, let's go through my day. So, this morning, woke up at 5. 5. Soon as the alarm 5:15, I woke up. 5:25, I went for my job, listening to the podcast, hearing the things what they were saying, and I was trying to engage myself, trying to learn something from there, which I did learn something. Like I don't remember what all the topics were they were discussing about, because I there are so many things that I listened to, but so there are several points that are stuck in my head, which I don't recall at the moment. I don't recall of any of the thing, but like when you're talking with some, you have to be aware, you have to be outer directed and stuff, and many more. But I still need to learn more things about communication, because communication is, I don't know, is the thing that I lack, and it's the thing that I have to improve on. So I have to listen to more podcasts and read more about conversation. Anyway, so I reached the cafe at 6:13. I opened the things up. As usual, started working. There was nothing too much. Everything was going all right. I was having conversation in the morning as well. Everything was perfect, fine, was going good, and yeah, there was no much change. And 9 o'clock or something like that. Before 9 o'clock, this lady who was working beside me as a junior barista, she is making a takeaway coffee in a takeaway cup, and she's without saying anything, she started to do the milk, and it got me pissed off, because I'm at the side, and this lady thinks she can do anything. So it triggered my insecurity, and like it, not only insecurity, like that was like a hit of disrespect to me, and I couldn't handle that. So I just let me do it. She goes, "Nah, this is for this lady. I'll do it." Okay, I told okay. The second thing I did see was she was doing in takeaway cup, and I got pissed off. Told her, "Don't give it takeaway coffee. It's not a thing to do." She goes, "Oh, you give this to this lady. You have done this. You have done that, and so." And one thing I made a mistake on that was I explain why I did it. Like the coffee was mistake, and everybody who has it has stuff like that. There was no need for the explanation at all. I could have just said, "Are you the senior barista, or am I the senior barista? Who's the barista here?" I could have just shown her level, but I explained the thing which I shouldn't have, and later on I got pissed off about why I was explaining this kind of thing to her. And this is one thing that I have to get myself more aware, teach myself more about, because there are times when I know that there's no need for me to give an explanation, or there's no need for me to do this kind of stuff. But in the heat of the moment, I forget all those kind of things, and I try to explain. I'll lost my awareness. But anyway, I didn't give up. I told her, "If you got any problem, go and tell me." And this lady, I know she doesn't have any strong opinions, so she goes, there's no need for me to do this kind of thing as well. And there were so many times that this lady, she was trying to trigger me. There were so many times like she was trying to make me react. From the morning she was trying to make me react, and after I became aware of all those kind of scenarios, I didn't react at all. And yeah, so after that this lady stopped talking to me, and I didn't really care if that lady talking to me, even though in my head there was things about what happened, but still, as soon as it was after 10 minutes, I started to remind myself, don't get preoccupied with the single thing, focus on entirely. And then I was able to forget about this kind of emotion. I was able to forget about the event, and I was able to forget about all those kind of things that happened. Even my ego was down. I didn't talk to her, but once she talked, I forget about each and everything. Anyway, after that, another lady, she comes in late. Well, I'm always late, but still, I had to text her, so I did the text. Anyway, and this lady, she comes in, she started to talk. She was trying to make a new kind of emotion, new kind of thing. But I realized that this is all to trick me. This all cuteness, this all kind of silly thing. Oh, I made a mistake, silly mistake. I'm so clumsy. This stuff like these are all came from one thing, to trick you, to make you lose your guard, so you can forget about this kind of thing. And this lady was doing the same kind of thing, and I realized this lady was doing this kind of thing because I knew what her nature is. I know what kind of person she is, and with that in mind, I was able to focus on myself, and I didn't give into anything. So today was important. It was necessary for me to put my guard up, and that's what I did. Although it led me to isolation, it led me to isolate a lot. It led me to think a lot, but still, isolating with myself, I was able to think for myself. Thinking alone in my head, I was able to realize more about my emotions and more about my thought patterns. So it was a plus point for me. I was able to learn more about myself, and this is the main thing I'm happy for. And later on, I was still thinking about the cars and stuff, how to buy it, what to do and stuff. I'm really into it. I'm getting more and more close to do that. So I think I'll be getting these cars as soon as I can. And there are things, when I get this car, I think I will be able to do a lot of things that come to my head as well. And after I achieve this thing, I will now know about the dynamics of the brain and stuff. Anyway, after that, there were things like that happened to in the cafe as well. After that event, like, which was fun. Later, because we weren't not talking too much, talking to each other for a very long time, we forgot each other, and later on, everything went normal. But still, and there were times when I was jealous, like the lady was talking about something else, some other people and some other guys, and it kind of got me jealous as well, because I was trying to invest some of my energy on her as well. But anyway, after some time, I realized that this wasn't worth it, so I lost that emotion as well for her. And everything was alright when she started to talk. She found a topic to talk with me, and she started to have a fun conversation with me, and I was great. I couldn't put I shouldn't. It's not a good idea to put the ego in each and every time, so I forgot about the ego as well. And later on, everything went normal. I was supposed to work starting at 3, and for to get there by 3 o'clock, I had to leave the cafe at 2 o'clock. So I did that as well. I left at the right time, put in the I was able to create the scenarios where I would be able to leave at 2 o'clock, and I left at 2 o'clock. Went in the other job, started working. Was good place to work in, and I realized that I was supposed to work with that person again. And although I don't appreciate those kind of people, but still I had to work with her, so I had to let my emotions slide away. So I let it down. When I was talking with her, I was just forgetting about that this person was gay. Although I could see, every time I see her, the reflection was coming to me, but yeah, I was trying not to see that. Anyway, for today, I was able to have some more communication with a lot of people. I was trying to have some more conversation, and I was trying to have some deeper connection as well. Whenever I get a chance, I was trying to talk. Every time I was trying to talk, I was trying to force some connection, and I don't know how I did, but being aware is the more important thing. I feel like today when I started to talk, I realized that how less I talk, how less I'm creative on the topic. And while I was talking, like, I was getting lost. I don't know what to say. Every time I'm starting to talk, the thing that come into my head was, what should I say next? What should I ask next? What should I create a topic? How should I create the topic that would make the interesting conversation interesting? Like, I'm so fixated on one thing to make the conversation interesting, to make them remember me. And I always remind myself that don't get preoccupied by a single thing, but here I am again preoccupied by a single thing to make myself interesting. And I got preoccupied by this thing. I forgot each and everything. I forgot to look at the entirety. Like, if I could have, if I stopped worrying about making the conversation interesting and making the conversation fun, I would be able to look at the conversation more. I would be able to look at the conversation entirely. Like, I would have been able to sense all those kind of things that I would find easy about. I would find to talk about. But this thing, it will all come when I start to let go of making myself interesting, having some kind of conversation, making myself remember. So to have all those kind of things, I have to let go of the feeling of those kind of things, which is very tricky. And I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but the practice should be on. I have to try to do it. Otherwise, every day is talking like this won't matter at all. Defeating loss is the option. Defeating loss is the goal. To achieve that goal, I have to focus on all this kind of thing. There were times when I was lustful as well. There was time when I was pimp as well. But at the end, I was able to get myself up, and that was the more important thing. After that, I finished my job, had some conversation with each and everybody, and after I finished my job, came home, eat my food, watched the episode that I was longing to watch for the whole day, and I just finished the episode, and I came outside. Now I'm making this video. One thing I realized more was during the afternoon, I came into a point it was the feeling of loneliness. I can say that it was the feeling of loneliness. It was the feeling of inferiority. It was the feeling of not being enough, and all those kind of feeling led me to one thing, that why am I doing all this kind of thing? Why am I doing this job? Why is getting a car so worth it? What is the point of doing all this kind of thing? The same question that my sister asked me on that day. And I began to feel like, when is this day gonna end? How am I survive? How am I gonna survive this day? And it was all the negativity. It was all the emotions of negativity. It was all the emotions of the comfort zone. It was all the thing that came from comfort zone. The comfort zone that was saying, why are you doing all this kind of thing? Why aren't you giving yourself a rest, which you need the most? But as soon as I started thinking that, I realized it is to satisfy myself. It is to achieve those kind of things that I want to achieve. It is to make myself happy, to enjoy the moment. And life is struggle. If there's no struggle, there is no life. Everything, this is happen. Every ups and down, you stand up, it's heaven. If you give up, then that's it. If you die, you die. And one time I realized that what she was telling was kind of true as well. But the main thing is, I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm doing this for myself, and that's why it's all worth it, and that's why it's all necessary to have to make myself happy, to make my existence grow. If someone's gonna forget me in the next generation, who cares? If someone's gonna remember me in the next generation, who cares? Am I able to remember? Am I able to be happy when I'm 70 years old, looking at my 40s? Yes. And that's the only point that I want to have, that I want to need. Well, I don't want my children to face the same thing that I faced. I want my children to feel like, if I get any, I want my children to feel like my dad did this, so I'm able to experience all this kind of luxury. And that's the only thing that I'm focused on. And one thing that came through my head, which is so frustrating, was about that lady again, which I want to forget, because this comfort zone, the comfort zone she gave me, is very hard to defeat, and I will defeat that for no matter what, because I'm not gonna accept her anymore. I'm not gonna accept her in my life anymore. And today was pretty crazy thing, because while I was driving, I realized about her when she comes to me, and she connected with me, and at the end of the day, she goes like, I have been done by this guy already. Will you accept me, or what you gonna do? And this feeling made me so pathetic. I kind of hate that. But anyway, all these are my emotions, all these feelings are my insides one, and I have to accept it. And I don't know if things are true or not, but one thing is for sure, I'm not gonna accept that lady anymore. She's even if she has been fucked, even if she hasn't been fucked, or even if she has been waiting for me, even if she's not waiting for me, that doesn't matter to me at all. I have already made the decision to move on, and I'm not going back there anymore. And yeah, that was all how my day went. I'm happy about the day though. I'm happy about the experience that I was able to get. I was happy about all these kind of lessons that I was able to get, and I'm grateful for all these kind of realization, all these kind of thoughts as well. These thoughts are a part of me. These are making me grow, and to be able to realize this kind of thing, to be able to accept all this kind of thing, it will make me grow. So I appreciate all this emotion. I'm grateful for all these emotions. And that is all. I don't know how the day is gonna be tomorrow, but let's see. See ya.